Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and Oknife, the cutlery division of Olight, asked me if I wanted to take some carbon fiber and titanium for a spin, and anyone who knows me knows that carbon fiber and titanium are like catnip. So absolutely. So first of all, we've got a titanium pen. This is TC4 grade 5 titanium. The whole thing is only about 4 3/4 inches long, and it is less than 1 ounce. And it is so elegant. It could be on a leatherette portfolio, maybe sitting in a corporate boardroom, or it could be stuffed down into the molly of your plate carrier. Either one would be perfectly happy. Gorgeous accents there with those two blue anodized titanium screws that hold on the pocket clip, which is how you deploy the tip. Silky smooth. It has this dampened feel. It's really quite neat. And this is its big feature on the top. It's got this bearing spinning section, silky smooth, that just spins at 1,000 RPMs there, kind of like a fidget spinner, or just something to move back and forth instead of deploying it. Now, it doesn't have the bolt action of common ones, and the bolt is kind of the fidgety thing, but Olight has a rich history of making bolt action pens. Tons of different pens, all kinds of different writing instruments with various features, lasers, lights, etc. But in this case, we've got the grade 5 TC4 titanium that is probably about as durable as anything when you are building a pen. I mean, think about it, the titanium. Silky smooth, dual action pocket clip. You can get replaceable cartridges. I like that they've used, looks like maybe a silicone O-ring there, that translucent. You can see, here's the refill. Does write quite well. I mean, I have no complaints with anything like this. Silky smooth as far as the threading. That's always nice. Sometimes they come a little crunchy. Gorgeous. A little bit of texturing up front. Good jimping on the thumb ramp there for deployment. Anyway, I don't know if these are in stock anymore though. You can check. I'll put a link to the Olight or Oknife site so you can see. But this one is in stock. This is the latest generation of the Oknife XEN. It's a Ken Onion design. There are various flavors of it. It first started out here with the first knife that used the Olight aluminum, the OAL. So that was a big deal. Excellent high quality steel in all of these. This first one I think was Nitro V. Then they came out with this one, which is really fascinating. This is the OAL again, but the A in the OAL or the AL is aluminum, and this is a frame lock. So this was one of the world's first frame lock, aluminum frame locks there, although you can see it does have a stainless steel plate there for wear, which is something that you find in almost all of them. Beautiful design. Excellent execution of the blade. And this one, they went with a flipper, different accents, a black OAL here, a little more tactical. Little zombie green one. I love this thing with the stone wash finish. There you go. Ken Onion design. And if we take a closer look, you're going to see a Damascus carbon fiber on this. And of course, you can flip the pocket clip around, 2 screws there. It uses what they're calling a rail lock, also an access lock, crossbar lock. And what happens is you can completely take any of the friction off the blade, so you can easily flip it out both open and closed, 1 finger, 2 fingers, or you can use the thumb stud. That's silky smooth. Not quite enough blade purchase to hang on to and flip it open that way, but if you wanted to, you could. There's a lanyard hole there, and as you can see, the gorgeous texture of the Damascus carbon fiber. Jet black, another tool that would look elegant in a boardroom or on a molly vest. I love the Ken Onion style blade here. This is, you've got a nice rich belly, but also a very stout point. And I do think, that's one of the first things I look at is what is the very point the tip of the knife look like, because so much of the work actually takes place up there. In fact, sometimes you can pick up a worn knife and actually down here, actually a little bit up. This is often dulled from whittling, but this section along in here almost never gets any use unless they're sawing something. Solid lock, that's why everyone's going with something like this. I mean, really you almost have to break the pivot before you get a failure. Silky smooth out of the box, locks up, lines up. There is just nothing that would keep this from being not only a collectible but a perfect EDC knife, especially if you're like me and you really like carbon fiber. Thought of some of the others I've done with ZTs and the Benchmades, but having an excellent Ken Onion design with carbon fiber. So now I guess I'm waiting for that titanium version if you're listening. And if you happen to already have the O-Tackle D2 here, which is a knife maintenance kit, how about, that contains these little bits. You can pop one up and drop it in the tip up here, if you want to work on something. And that matches. This has more of an overlay right there. Kind of similar if you looked at like a Harbor Freight knife with this patch of kind of carbon fiber. That's pretty common. The handle is G10, but they do have a patch of carbon fiber accents. That's what's going on here. But in this case, we probably have these black, I assume those are stainless steel liners. Highly skeletonized. There are big chunks missing out of those to lighten it up. This thing does, it feels stout, but it honestly, for having a 3.1 inch blade and an overall length of about 7.5, those carbon fiber scales seem to really lighten this thing up. So you do have the metal liners, but then the scales on top. Beautiful execution. But anyway, there it is. I'll put a link for this down below as well if you're one of the Olight aficionados and you prefer something a little bit more tactical and you appreciate carbon fiber as much as I do. Well, here you go. The XEN carbon fiber version. And with that, Doc out.